Greetings, Divines. Some of you may not know what's going on here, so let's dive into it. For centuries, African spiritual traditions and its diasporic branches have been intentionally misrepresented to create fear and division. These systems have indigenous medicines just like traditional Chinese medicine. There's energetic healing modalities like pranayama and yoga. Then there's the part that was used to create fear. This lied in how a people chose to remember their ancestors and their cosmological beliefs. But ancestral veneration is not native to Africa. It's found in indigenous cultures worldwide. So how do you move past these disempowering techniques? Education, community building, and cultural awareness for individuals and organizations. So as with all things, there's light and dark. You are the one who gets to decide where you reside, to the right, to the left, or both in the middle.
No, we're not crazy. No, we're not going in some backwoods sacrificing any babies or anything like that. No, we're not digging up any of your people's graves or any of that stuff. We are practicing a legitimate religion.
Well, the thing about voodoo, that thing, they can get a voodoo doll, like the voodoo doll here, and just stick pins in it. In Hollywood, they do that. In the movies, they do that to make money off of it. But voodoo is a religion.
Voodoo is feared because it is not part of the mainstream religions, and people tend to fear what they don't understand.
Hexes and good luck charms are deeply rooted in New Orleans culture, but they're only a small part of the local practice of voodoo, a religion brought over from the old country by the slaves.
The origins of the religion of voodoo are in Africa. The two main branches in the world of what we know today as voodoo are Dahomey, which is now the Republic of Benin, and southwestern Nigeria. And from Dahomey we get the religion of voodoo, the manifestations of which are in Haiti and also in New Orleans. And from the Yoruba religion of Nigeria, we get religions like Santeria, we get Candomblé of Brazil, the Shango Baptist of Trinidad, but the cosmology and the belief system in the voodoo in Europe are basically the same.
Voodoo is an evolution of African shamanism, which has been recreated in the Western world, mainly in Haiti. Voodoo is really a generic term for a number of metaphysical practices.
And voodoo literally means spirit, deity, and God, the creator of the universe. We believe in God, but under this God force there are many spirits, forces, and deities that are called the voodoo gods and goddesses, the Loas or the Orisha.
The natural forces which build the universe are earth, air, fire, and water. The deities are a personification of these four elements.
The voodoo gods, the Yoruba gods, are very, very much equated with the forces of nature. For example, I am a priestess of Oya in the Yoruba religion, and Oya is the goddess of the winds and the hurricanes, and she is the queen of the spirit world.
Good evening, divine, all blessed, honor, and respect Honor and respect, honor and respect. Divine all blessed greetings and salutations. It is another edition of Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. Voodoo Hoodoo 101, powered, produced, promoted, sponsored, and supported by NOIVD, New Orleans International Vodou Day. New Orleans International Vodou Day exists to restore rightful dignity, authority, and global recognition to the Voodoo family of traditions. Our mission, purpose, and the motive behind New Orleans International Vodou Day, NOIVD, forms a single coherent vision to protect, unify, and elevate Vodou, and Voodoo as living world traditions with deep ancestral, cultural, spiritual authority. Our mission frames NOIVD not as a festival, but as a cultural embassy for voodoo worldwide. NOIVD responds to the urgent needs of this moment, a time when voodoo is simultaneously sought after while yet misunderstood and misrepresented. And our purpose unfolds across several dimensions. NOIVD exists to protect the traditions from harm. NOIVD confronts misrepresentation in the media, exploitation by uninitiated practitioners, cultural theft and commodification, historical trauma, and colonial narratives. And by establishing standards of authenticity, New Orleans International Voodoo Day becomes a shield for the traditions and the communities that carry them forward. New Orleans International Voodoo Day serves as a platform for public teaching, ceremonial demonstration, scholarly dialogue, youth and community education. And this ensures that what the world learns about voodoo comes from real practitioners, not stereotypes or outsiders. And we continue to strengthen international cultural diplomacy through partnerships with the Republic of Benin, Haitian cultural and spiritual leadership, New Orleans cultural institutions, global diaspora communities, and New Orleans International Voodoo Day positions voodoo as a legitimate world religion with diplomatic presence and cultural power. And we continue to invite your support, your participation, visitation, promotion of these events, donations, and sponsorship of this powerful legacy and expanding international endeavor, our very active GoFundMe campaign. And please continue to visit us for connection and more information about participating, volunteering, supporting our symposium, our Afro Ecology exhibit, our art exhibition, our youth program next year, NOIVD Year 4, 2027. We're certainly grateful for your continued support and participation across all social media platforms. And certainly for those who participate and support this podcast live in chat and always in archive at your leisure and convenience. We thank you. And please do join us now live on platform with your mic, camera, or your photo avatar by way of the QR code in the upper left corner of your screen or the scrolling StreamYard URL. And please continue to visit us for more connection and information at vodouday.org. VODOUDAY, vodouday.org. Our NOIVD QR code is in the bottom right corner of your screen. And tonight we continue our conversation while, as always, expanding and broadening the topic. We're certainly grateful for your participation out there in the live chat. Thank you so much, our faithful, committed community member here on the ground at the grassroots hands-on level, as well as here in the virtual spaces. Daniel Neal, thank you so much. Our beloved mama, Fatima, we certainly greet you in all blessings and salutations. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will be unmuting my second priest, Ty Horn, our executive producer, director of Respect the Voodoo, as well as our documentarian for NOIVD and La Source. He is also an initiated member of my house, initiated member of La Source. We certainly are grateful for your continued support and participation and sacrifice. Thank you so much, our beloved Queen Mother, Sister Tony Val Martinez, community activist, community mother, community agitator, community resource person. We certainly appreciate your continued support and commitment to the platform. Thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. being our beloved moderator, and our beloved Bianca Johnson Plessy, another committed, initiated member of our community, as well as a committed team member for NOIVD and an anchor for this platform. Again, I'm so grateful for you all continuing to support and participate out of your time, your schedule, away from your family and your other commitments. Please know that I'm so grateful. And we're always thankful for those who join us by way of our individual and collective Facebook pages, profiles, and groups, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, and always Instagram. I know that we're going live on Instagram, but for some reason I cannot see the Instagram chat. So please know that we are in support of your commentary. And if you wish, please join us here live on platform. Tonight, we want to continue our Afroecology conversation while expanding and personalizing it a little bit. What's in my yard? The banana that remembers. Welcome back to Voodoo Hoodoo 101, powered by NOIVD. And tonight's episode is called What's in My Yard? The banana that remembers, and how we use what we grow. Thank you so much, beloved Bianca, for adding that extra nuance to the topic, how we use what we grow. This is a story of food, medicine, and spirit in my yard. When I walk through my yard, I don't just see plants. I see pastry, a pharmacy, a temple, a memory book. Everything out here has a purpose. Everything out here can be eaten, brewed, burned, rubbed, or worked with. Nothing is ornamental. Everything is functional. Because before we talk about anything else growing out there, we have to start with the plant that carries the most memory, the most survival, the most New Orleans in its DNA. My Bywater heirloom banana. This plant is not store-bought. This plant is not commercial. This plant is not generic. This plant is lineage. This plant is community. This plant is Black New Orleans horticultural history standing in a 5-gallon grow bag. And everything else in my yard grows in the shadow of that story. So let's begin. My banana didn't come from a nursery. It came from somebody's yard in the Bywater. A yard that survived storms, freezes, and generations of hands tending it. This banana is a 27-year plus lineage plant, passed down from pup to pup, the way families pass down recipes, stories, and secrets. This banana's lineage traces back to Southeast Asia, where the first bananas were cultivated thousands of years ago. East Africa, where bananas became staple food and cultural symbol. West Africa, where plantains and bananas became part of the daily diet. The Caribbean, where enslaved Africans carried our agricultural knowledge. And New Orleans, where Creole families planted them behind shotgun houses. But my banana is not just any banana from Global Journey. It is a Bywater survivor, a plant that has adapted, a plant that has adapted to Mississippi River winds, hurricanes, floods, the 2010 freeze, the 2014 freeze, the 2021 freeze, the January 21st, 2025 record 8 to 9 inches of snow, and every heat wave this city has thrown at it. This is a New Orleans heirloom Orinoco type banana, the classic Creole yard banana, tall, strong, storm resilient, thick fruited, and deeply rooted in community memory. Now, this banana is a living archive, a plant that says, we survived, we adapted, we kept growing. It is the elder of my yard, the ancestor plant, the one that sets the tone for everything else. And in that same 50-gallon grow bag, I got sweet potatoes running underneath, the turmeric glowing in the soil, a whole diaspora in one container. Now, the banana is food, shade, and story. The fruit is eaten fresh, fried, and stewed. The leaves wrap fish, tamales, and offerings. The trunk holds water, emergency hydration in storm country. And the plant itself, it is a cooling, calming presence, a living ancestor. Now, the fire plants, my cow horn peppers, originally from West Africa, the Caribbean, the American South. These peppers traveled with us. They seasoned survival food. They showed up in every African descended kitchen from Haiti to Louisiana. Cow horn peppers, cow horn peppers. These peppers seasoned beans, greens, and gumbo. They dry beautifully for pepper vinegar. And spiritually, they protect the home. A pepper on the windsill keeps trouble out. Jalapenos originated in Mexico, a pepper of indigenous fire and clarity, a boundary setter. I like to pickle them, stuff them, chop them into salad and salsa. And when I need to break stagnation, jalapeno heat wakes the system up. And then there are the sun plants, the tomatoes from the Andes in Mexico, adapted by Africa, perfected by the Black South. Tomatoes are sunlight turned edible. We like to slice them, stew them, roast them, eat them warm off the vine. Tomato water cools the body in summer, and tomato leaves, crushed, repel pests, physical and spiritual. Then there are the strawberry lineage, the June bearing strawberries, a hybrid of North American and Chilean species. These are the southern trial garden strawberries, big, sweet, one heavy flush, a plant that teaches timing and attention. And then there are the ever-bearing strawberries of European ruminant lines refined in California. These fruits again and again, a plant that teaches resilience. I like to eat them fresh, freeze them, blend them, turn them into a syrup. Strawberries are heart medicine, literally and spiritually. They soften grief, they invite sweetness back in. Are you with me, Sister Bianca? And then there are the ever-bearing mulberry from Western Asia, the grandmother tree, which feeds everybody. I like to eat the berries by the handfuls. We like to make mulberry syrup, mulberry wine, mulberry jam. The leaves make a calming tea. And mulberry is nourishment for the body and the spirit. And our beloved brother Joshua, he planted a South American, Caribbean, African world in one pot, a pineapple, sweet inside and armored outside. We can eat the fresh flesh or we can grill it. We can ferment the skins into tapache. We can core it into smoothies. And pineapple is hospitality, but also protection, sweetness with armor. And then there are my kumquat trinity, the Nagami kumquat, the Miwa kumquat, and the Marumi kumquat. Originally from China, these three citrus personalities, sharp, sweet, and balanced, the kumquat trinity, we like to eat them whole, peel, and all. You can candy the rinds. You can make kumquat marmalade. You can drop slices into tea for clarity. And kumquat peel is cleansing, uplifting, and spiritually bright. When they're in season and they're ripe, I like to eat at least one or two kumquats every morning. And then there is lemon verbena, originally from South America, a plant of clarity and lineage and ancestral inheritance. You can brew it into tea for nerves, digestion, and clarity. You can dry it for potpourri and add it to spiritual baths for purification and focus. Rosemary, Mediterranean rosemary for memory, protection, ancestral clarity. We can cook with it chicken, potatoes, bread. We can burn it. It's great for keeping the mosquitoes at bay. Burning rosemary in the garden on the charcoal. Um, we can use it in hair oil for growth and scalp health. Rosemary is a memory and protection herb. We have two types of sages, Mediterranean and North African. One grounds and one clears. One is round and the other is elongated. We like to cook with culinary sage, stuffing, beans, roasted vegetables. I use the elongated sage for teas and clearing work, and a reliable uh, alternative to, burning up the white sage to extinction. Y'all stop going into these botanicas and helping to, bring white sage to extinction when you can grow a series of varieties of sages in your own garden. Sage grounds the mind and settles the stomach. Then there are the herbal healers, the spearmint from from Europe, Asia, Africa, joy that spreads. We like to brew it, muddle it, chew it, and freeze it into ice cubes. Mint cools the body, sweetens the breath, and lifts the spirit. It's joy in leaf form. We have yarrow from Europe and Asia, the battlefield healer. It is a womb hit herb which stops bleeding fast. You can brew it also as well for fevers and colds. And spiritually, yarrow strengthens boundaries and courage. Sweet basil from India, Africa, the Mediterranean, and certainly now the Americas brings blessing and royalty. We like to cook it, pesto, pasta, salad, soups. I like to use it in floor washes, spiritual baths. I like to eat it. It attracts blessings. I like teas. We can place basil leaves in water to sweeten the home, the temple's energy. Oregano from Greece, quiet protection. We cook it in sauces, meats, beans. I like to brew it in a strong antiviral tea. Oregano is quiet protection. And then there's that native indigenous lyre leaf sage, which is native to southeastern U.S. to the Gulf Coast. It is local medicine. And it is for colds, coughs, skin irritation, and it is a bridge between the wild and the cultivated. My root medicines, my turmeric, I grate it into teas. I like to chew it whole. You can certainly prepare curry or even golden milk with it. You can use it for your skin for inflammation. You can use it in spiritual baths to brighten the aura and clear out old heat. And ginger from Southeast Asia, movement and fire, grated into everything teas, stir fries, marinades, use it for nausea, circulation, warmth, spirituality, and ginger moves stuck energy. Give me a moment, y'all. Just bear with me. I got just a few more here I'm going to share. The fruits of fire and sun. I have snackabelle red peppers from Central and South America, small peppers with big flavor. We can eat them raw, roasted, stuffed, sauteed. They're sweet, crisp, perfect for snacking. A reminder that small things can be powerful. And my African marigolds, four types of African marigolds. They are often used in traditional medicines, though they're not formally supported by modern medicine. So be very careful about, partaking of your African marigolds, though I know some people personally who do without any complications. But African marigolds can be used in the kitchen, particularly their petals, but they're not a major culinary or medicinal herb. It's always good to approach them with a bit of caution and enjoy their beauty both in the garden and, if you like, as a small garnish on your plate. African marigolds do have some traditional medicinal uses. They've been used in folk medicine for certain anti inflammatory and antiseptic properties. The petals are sometimes used in herbal remedies uh, and as a mild infusion. So while they're not a major medical plant or medicinal plant, there are indeed a few traditional benefits to them. Many of you are familiar with citronella. You can crush the leaves to release the scent, rub it on your skin as a natural repellent, and certainly it's great for boundary setting. I have red potatoes, sweet potatoes, mirliton, marge, elderberry, goji berry, dragon fruit, um, two different varieties of English lavender. I've got sugar plant, also known as stevia. Okay. Love my stevia, aloe vera, and I have a LSU purple fig, a Celeste, a Louisiana fig, and a purple possum passion fruit. Um, Beautiful plant, delicious product, and everything in my yard is edible, medicinal, or magical. Everything has a use. Everything has a purpose. Everything is part of the story. And the last plant in my yard is always the one I haven't planted yet because the garden is never finished, and neither am I. So thank you for walking through my yard with me. Every plant is a story, every leaf is a lesson, every root is a reminder that Afroecology is not theory, it is practice, it is land, it is lineage, it is love. And until our next conversation on plants, keep growing, keep listening, keep honoring what's in your yard. What is edible, what is medicinal, what is beneficial, what is useful, what is nutritious in your garden, in your yard. And how you doing this evening, beloved Bianca Johnson Plessy, Queen Mother Sister Tony Val Martinez, Brother Tyson, and our beloved Joshua Nyland Horn, first priest, our Black Hawk Voodoo Wild Man, initiated member of my house, as well as a source and a co-administrator of NOIVD. Greetings and salutations all. What say you?
Hey everyone, good night. How everybody doing on the panel and in the audience?
Good evening, everyone out there this evening.
All is well, all is well.
There was
The last
something
time,
that I wanted to share right quick with my experience, and I think some of our podcasts, all you guys probably already know about it because we always share a lot of things with each other. There was something that Sister Tony had posted in our group chat about this mimosa pink flowers, which is actually called the Persian silk flower tree. And at first, when she posted, I'm like, this video looks familiar. I watched the video and it dawned on me when they showed me the tree on the video. I'm like, you know what? I see that tree everywhere. And it's crazy because I am such a big flower fan. Like my daughter, she loves to collect flowers and she takes pictures with them. And I am like big and heavy on flowers, different smells, different types. So when she showed us the video, I'm telling her, I'm like, oh my gosh, they have those trees up the street. I see them everywhere. They be off the side of the road. I'm about to go figure out how to go pick those things. And I stay in the country, so we don't have no sidewalks, no, it's just like dirt roads, edge of the road. So it was like nowhere for me to park. So I took my son with me. I said, look, jump in the car. My son like, where are we going, Mom? I said, don't worry about it. We about to go look for these flowers. So, and in the back seat of my car, I always have my rubber boots in my car just in case, you know, it get rain a lot, we flood a lot. A lot of times I'm, you know, in ditches and stuff a lot too. So I always have rubber boots in the back. And we went up the road. I found the spot that had those the tree. Now they had a older man. He was fishing down in the creek. So his truck was parked up and he fishing in the creek. And then I just pulled over in one side and I told my son, I said, look, stay in the back seat, stay in the car, be on the watch out. I'm about to go get these flowers. So I'm all in with my rubber boots, all in the tall grass, climbing up, pulling branches down. I'm cutting the flower. They had bugs and ants everywhere. And this old man come out the creek. He said, man, what are you doing? I said, I'm cutting some flowers. He said, what are they for? What are they? So I'm talking to him like, oh, it's for this. It's for the tea explainer. He said, I did not know. I'm 80-some years old. And it's amazing how so many things out here have so much benefits. And I didn't even know that. I'm just down here minding my business, fishing, and I just see you out of nowhere just climbing up on trees, cutting flowers down. He said, well, you have a good day. So I was I got a couple of the flowers, and I posted a picture. I brought it home. I smelled it because I wanted to see if it was going to smell like it tastes. And I cleaned it, soaked it, removed the bugs and everything off of it, and boiled the water. I put the flowers in there, and I put like a little bit of lemon and a little bit of honey, and it actually turned out to be pretty good. Now I know a lot of people could put ginger and mix a couple of things with it, but I just wanted to keep it plain because I wanted to get like the authentic taste of what the flower actually tastes before adding extra stuff to it. And one thing I know is it do have like a floral taste, but it do have a calming. It's something about it that gives you like a calming relaxation, but it also I don't know what it is, but it kind of gives you that tingly feeling like you're ready to go to sleep, like that calm and relaxing and ready to go to sleep and stuff. Cause I know I slept pretty well, and it wasn't too bad. So if you guys see those flowers and trees out there, I suggest everyone to try to give it a try if you're brave and risky to do it.
Those trees, we had a huge one in our front yard in the ninth ward. They are everywhere because they are so easy to grow. The seed pods on those trees, if they just fall on the dirt, they will spring another tree. We were constantly getting rid of the smaller trees that sprang up around it because my mother just wanted to keep the big tree there, and they would just literally take over the whole space. So if anybody sees them and they could get the brown, long, they like in a pea pod type thing, a flat pea pod, you could bring those home and they will grow in a pot. The flower, when I was younger, I would call them cotton candy flowers because they reminded me they so pink and fluffy. But they are very good in making a sleepy time tea.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you guys sharing that. I mean, that's definitely, I would say it's not only a woman's thing, but a woman's touch and nurturing capabilities. I'm glad you, Bianca, and Sister Tony, that you guys
And
are
a
sharing
thing,
that
and a
input
thing about
from
those
y'all
trees,
practice.
they go to sleep.
Yeah.
The leaves on the trees fold into each other. Like the 4 o'clock goes to sleep after a certain time. The tiny
Okay.
little leaves all sleep. They go down, and in the morning, they spring back up fresh into the leaf. I
Almost
used to
like a morning
enjoy
bloom.
watching them. Yeah,
Almost like a
they
morning
go to
bloom.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just the leaves, not the flower. The leaf closes up
Okay.
about 7 o'clock at night. They all fold into each other, and it looks like it's a long, slender leaf, but the next day they all spring back up into a wide leaf.
Gotcha.
It's really amazing to just watch. And last time we talked, Sister Bianca was telling us about the barks that her grandmother would have her retrieve. And Sister Bianca, you found out what the name of those barks were?
Yeah, I think it was sarsaparilla. I think it was
And
sarsaparilla and saffras, saffras and
sassafras.
Sassafras.
white bark tea bark, white birch tree bark.
Okay.
Those three.
And you know, sassafras is what we get filet from.
Yeah.
Sassafras is filet that makes our gumbos thicker.
Yes, indeed.
Sister Tony, you know, growing up as a kid, I never knew it at the time, but anytime we got hurt, anytime we got to cut anything, my grandmother, my aunts, they would always grab the aloe vera tree and, cut it, rub it on it. And that plant has so many healing properties. And then, even eating the pulp from the aloe vera plant to help clean out the digestion and all that kind of stuff. Like, do you keep a lot of aloe vera plants in your homes as well?
Oh, I had a huge aloe vera garden in the front of my house that I just moved from. So I will be starting over. I was thinking about going there tomorrow and digging up some of my aloe veras. And I left a lot of plants in my backyard that I couldn't transport. Rosemary, sage, aloe vera, some more stuff. I was thinking about because I needed somebody with a truck to go get them. They potted. But yeah, I kept a lot of aloe vera, and people would actually come and ask me, could they cut some off? They needed some. And one thing I found out that, like you said, when we were younger and you get burned, they run to the aloe vera plant to rub it on you and stuff. But I never had seen until I was in my 30s that people actually drink aloe vera juice.
Mhm.
I had some friends that would get it from Whole Food. And I was
Yeah,
like, y'all drink it?
Yeah, it's like it's refreshing. It keeps you
it's and I learned that
hydrated.
I worked with the Korean community for a long time, and if there's a Korean grocery store, that's one thing. Korean grocery stores and Spanish grocery stores, they usually have a wide selection of juices or different pulp type drinks that you can drink. A lot of coconut, different variety type of coconuts, waters and so forth. But I learned that they'll have like chia seed drinks as well. So that's one little insider hack, if you would, to go to some of these Asian supermarkets, and they have their produce sections always provide a lot of that.
International markets also have a lot of stuff. I used to first started going to the international market in Memphis, and they have a lot of those, those drinks, those fruits that we normally can't find, the stuff that's in every market, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, every market in the international. And I just like to go in there. My kids often complained of the smell because they would often have live fish that you could choose which fish you wanted out the tank. And my kids didn't like it, but I could go in there forever and just look at stuff and wonder how it would taste.
That's true. That's true.
From the way it looked. I'm like, oh my God, how does that taste? And but international markets are a really great place to go and find a lot. Every country, basically, you can find their food in the international market, even if it's just a small selection.
But one of my favorite places to gather plants and edibles is certainly in nature. And Joshua, you're right now in the mountains. You should be surrounded by vegetation of various types. Do you have like a plant app in your phone? Like picture this?
Yeah, I have a plan after my phone. I've been actually I just got out here today, really in the wilderness. Well, and just looking around to see what's out here. I ran into a couple of aspen trees, white the white bark, um, and we see a lot of wild sage, mullein that's out here. Um, Wild brush from I don't know, cactus too. A lot of cactuses out here that they're flowering out here right now. So it's pretty beautiful. I've been taking pictures of them and kind of keeping the documentary. But I just finished doing an event out here also after we did New Orleans International Voodoo Day, uh, uh, helping with logistics for someone's marriage or wedding. But now that I'm done with that, I'm actually going to be out here and actually bringing to you guys some of the things that I'm finding out here throughout my journey out here in New Mexico, headed north towards South Dakota. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure that you guys that's that's where I'm at. But there's abundant of vegetation out here right now. I know from what people have been telling me, they've been getting a lot more water up here than usual. So everything is green. And
Hmm.
everything is melting in terms of like the ski resorts and the higher elevation, the higher desert that had some snow. All that's melting and coming down the valley and the creeks. So it's
Yes,
beautiful.
indeed.
It's beautiful.
And Brother Tyson, you live near the woods, so I could ask you the
Mhm.
same question. Do you have a picture this app or plant app in your phone, and have you begun to explore the vegetation just right there outside your house?
Well, funny that you mentioned that. No, so yeah, you got on me. I had not downloaded the app. I will do it right now. Um, I took the kids out today and we went out to Stone Mountain to just take a walk around the lake. So I had the youngest, he's 2 years old, and I had him. He did a four. He finally asked us to pick him up around 4.4 miles. So he did 4 miles on his own. He's only 2 years old. So we had him and my daughter out there in the woods trucking. So we were looking at different leaves and so forth, and different, looking at different mushrooms along the way. Um, and just the different varieties of, but I did not have the app. So I'm glad you reminded me, because I need to start identifying what these plants are. And like, you're right, I do have a creek behind my house, and there's so much vegetation out there. And and it's kind of hard because I'm a city boy. You know what I'm saying? I was raised in the city, but I grew up in Miami. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I don't, I might be walking with you or Joshua, and y'all will pick something up off the ground and or off a tree and just eat it. And I'll be looking at you like, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just not used to it, because in the city, there's really not that type of amount of vegetation. However, um, like you were talking about in the beginning in your introduction, I do have a wide variety of plants. The edible plants, basil and thyme and rosemary and all the different mints, different peppers and jalapenos, all these different type of plants that are edible. But I'm adding to my garden as well, because there are a lot of spiritual and medicinal plants that I want to include in my garden, just to have them, so that way I can make these teas and make these different I don't know how to just different packages, if you would, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get that app.
Yeah, and like what you guys were sharing. And I'm glad that we do talk about this type of things, because a lot of us don't notice and realize what we have around us. sometimes we can, it is good that we do plan to have our garden also in the back, but it's also good to recognize, like you said, with the app or something, of what we have around us. Because like what you guys was mentioning earlier about the aloe vera plant, for burns or insect bites and stuff. And I just remember when I was young, growing up, I'm not for sure if you guys familiar with these, but my the swamp sunflowers. I know y'all see
Yeah,
them everywhere, but they're like little yellow flowers, some that always hang near the creek, but they're called swamp sunflowers. But
yeah,
the leaves to them have a great benefits for insect bites, spiders, insect bites, and burns and stuff. And I just remember my grandma used to always take the leaves off them, and I cannot remember what she mixed with it, but she had like a little bowl, like a little ceramic bowl or something, and she would mash the leaves off those swamp sunflowers and make it
yeah.
into a paste form and put it on there, like put it on the burns and the insect bite, and it's actually very soothing and stuff. So that is another thing that we pass by all the time, and we don't really realize the benefits to the leaves and the flowers and stuff itself.
Yeah, I've never heard of
Once
swamp
again,
sunflower,
No,
swamp rose.
they swamp sunflower. They're
Yeah,
everywhere. They look like little old orange, or little like little mini sunflower, and they be all on the creeks, like or near the creeks or near the swamps and stuff. They look like little flowers, like little
nice.
yellow, orange mini flowers, or something, but they're everywhere. They're like look like wildflowers or something.
well, once again, we've
Beautiful
come to the end
information.
of this episode of the podcast. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. And I'll turn it over to the Divine Prince to acknowledge our listening audience and give us any messages he might have of what is going on.
Again, thank you so much for joining us by way of live chat on various platforms. Greetings and salutations, Juju Goddess. We certainly do appreciate you for joining us this evening. Mama Fatty Mayat, we certainly appreciate you again for joining us and being an active participant. And to our beloved community member, Daniel Neal, again, we're always thankful and grateful for your continued support and participation and promotion of this platform, as well as our annual event. Please do like, share, follow, subscribe, repost, reshare this podcast, as well as our website at voodooday.org. Visit us to join, to volunteer, to participate, to donate, to sponsor, to promote at voodooday.org, www.voodooday.org, VODOUDAY.org. And I'm offering you divine, all blessed peace, love, joy, and prosperity. Until next time, remembering that all is truly and indeed a blessing. If you can just see beyond the veils, for it is all just an illusion and a test in one of the greatest divine mysteries of this life cycle. Aibobo, good night, Odabo.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Please, allow me to show you something.
They say I'm crazy and that might be true. I got this right in my DNA, yet I'm coming for you. It's time we turn the tables, flip these motherfuckers on you. I wanna see you hanging from trees. It's time you pay for your dirt and your shit. You created the monster, you created the beast. Now all this savagery you just gon' reap. I'm coming home, daddy, to the plantation, and I'm taking the lives of everybody, including the children, on some Nat Turner. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. I met my girl Harriet at the gate. If you wanna know how she doing, yeah, she's straight. But she had one question: when we gon' get up? All that talking tough, yeah, we don't walk it tough. She got it locked and loaded, got that piece up on her side. She looked me in my eyes and said, "Mitch, you ready to ride?" Moving forward, you gotta use both eyes. Watch your front and watch your back. Keep your hands up on your gas. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. He sit at the table, but he don't order no bacon. He greet me in those words, assalamu alaikum. Got them glasses on his face and them waves in his head. He go by the name of Detroit Red. He looks me in my eye and says, you only get one try. Know that your biggest opposition will come from the inside. I know you wanna love them all, but don't even try, because they'll smile up in your face while plotting your demise. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. We are the children of the ancestors that weren't perfect.